Please raise your hand if you ever tried to get accepted somewhere. It could be a school, a university, a job. Please keep your hands up if you ever got rejected. Well, I got rejected. And yes, it sucks. You know, when you get rejected, you have a few options. A, crying like a baby. B, be really mad. C, decide not to give up and fight for yourself. Well, honestly, I did all the above. Hi, my name is Gvirtsman, and I'm happy to tell you that after a long journey where I felt I didn't belong anywhere, I found the right place for me. And that you can do the same. It wasn't easy, and the road there was pretty bumpy, but eventually I did it. In the course of this journey, I learned to listen to my inner voice. I learned to accept a negative answer. I was able to drive a principal of a school I really wanted to go to crazy and get a new bus stop added next to my house. So, let's begin the story. It was many years ago when I was still young, 3rd grade. I had this constant feeling I just didn't belong. I didn't have any friends, and I never understood why. I think I was nice, and I tried finding friends, but it just didn't work out. The kids were excellent kids, but I just didn't connect with any of them. When I got to 6th grade, this pain and this feeling kept haunting me. But I convinced myself that everything will be okay when I get accepted to the school I really wanted to go to the following year. I was sure that when I would get accepted to the ideal school, everything will fall into place. I studied for the exams for months. I was determined not to take no for an answer. And then I got a letter that said no. I was so angry and heartbroken that I cried a bit. Well, maybe more than a bit. Honestly, I cried a lot that day. I decided to fight for myself and not give up. I decided to become my own best advocate. So I wrote a really emotional email to the principal of the school. I knew that if I only got the chance to meet him in person, I will not take no for an answer. Within minutes, I got invited to a meeting with him. Can you imagine my excitement? I was going to get it my way. And then, I got no for an answer again. Apparently, his secretary was so touched by my email that she was the one who invited me. The problem was that she forgot to update him. And he basically kicked me and my mom out of his office. And this was the first time I learned to accept a negative answer. I decided to focus on the many good aspects of the school that was close to my house. Let's jump a year forward, 7th grade. 7th grade was fine. My grades were good, the teachers liked me, and the school facilities were great. I convinced myself that not having friends is okay. But when I got to 8th grade, my inner voice kicked in. Maybe it was always there, but when I got to 8th grade, I decided to listen to it. It told me that not having friends is not okay. It told me that I deserve more. So I decided to serve as my own best advocate and search for a new school. My parents found themselves being dragged by this unstoppable force to places they never thought they would go to. I made appointments with principals in Ra'anana, Jaffa, and even here in Jerusalem. I wrote the 2 most important things for me in a school: that the academic level will be high and that I will be able to make friends. I found a school that looked very promising. It was one hour trip from where I live. Suddenly, I got really stressed. What if it didn't solve my problem? I decided to test and learn as much as I could about it. I talked to the only student that learned there from Tel Aviv and asked her questions about the school and the way getting there. I asked to try a day in the school with one of the classes to simply experience it. They agreed. When the day came, I was really afraid. What if it didn't solve my problem? But I knew that in the worst case, it will not work out. Surprisingly, it went quite well. On my first day there, I met two girls who were at least obsessed as I am with the musical Hamilton, and I had a great chat with other students. It was then and there when I decided to move to that school, and I don't regret it, and I don't look back. The end. Oh, wait, stop the clapping. I'm thinking I'm forgetting something. We talked about the inner voice and the list. All right, the bus station. So, when I started going to the school this year, I found out that if only the line I needed to take would stop and the bus stop that was next to my house, it would save me a lot of time and effort. And I guess you know those really annoying customers that call customer service? I'm one of them. I called customer service at the bus service, asking them to add a new bus stop next to my house. Mind you, it did take a few attempts, quite a few. But eventually, they did it. It was a wonderful feeling. I did another step, becoming my own best advocate. To sum up, my story isn't dramatic, is it? But so are the lives of most of you watching me. My message for you is that all of us have opportunities to better our lives and our surroundings by small steps. Try a different way to move the small steps and learn to accept a negative answer. I didn't wait for someone else to solve my problems. I decided to always serve as my own best advocate. And I encourage all of you to do the same. Thank you.